We all have habits. Some propel us forward, while others quietly sabotage our growth and potential. In this video, we'll uncover 7 bad habits that could be holding you back, draining your energy, and stalling your progress. But don't worry, we're not stopping there. Inspired by timeless Stoic wisdom, we'll explore practical solutions to break free from these destructive patterns and embrace a life of clarity, discipline, and purpose. The Stoic approach to habit change. Next, the Stoic approach to habit change. Imagine a Roman emperor dressed in full regalia, sitting quietly in his tent before a great battle instead of strategizing or rallying his troops. He's writing in a journal, reflecting on his thoughts and actions. This was Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history. Practicing Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy. It's a practical toolkit for living a meaningful life at its core. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. It's about cultivating inner peace and strength, regardless of external circumstances. But how does this relate to breaking bad habits? Think of your habits as the software running in the background of your life. Stoicism is like an advanced antivirus program, helping you identify and eliminate the bugs in your system. It provides a framework for self-reflection, emotional regulation, and rational decision-making, all crucial elements in the battle against bad habits. As we dive into each habit, we'll explore how Stoic principles can be your secret weapon for change. But remember, this isn't about achieving perfection overnight. It's about progress, one small step at a time. Are you ready to reprogram your mind and upgrade your life? Let's begin with our first habit. 1. Habit 1. Procrastination. Procrastination, the thief of time. We've all been there, that important task looming over us, while we find a million other things to do. Instead, procrastination is like a siren call luring us away from our goals with the promise of temporary comfort. But at what cost? The Stoics understood the value of time better than most. Seneca, the famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "While we are postponing life speeds," by this powerful statement cuts to the heart of why procrastination is so dangerous. It's not just about delaying a task, it's about delaying our lives, our growth, our potential. So how do we break free from procrastination grip? The Stoic approach is twofold. First, focus on what's in your control. You can't control how difficult a task might be, but you can control your approach to it. Break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Start with just 5 minutes of focused work. Often that's all it takes to build momentum. Second, practice the Stoic principle of negative visualization. Imagine the consequences of not doing the task. How will you feel later? What opportunities might you miss? This can provide the motivation to act now. Remember, every time you choose action over procrastination, you're not just completing a task. You're building the habit of productivity, and that habit, it's the foundation of achieving your dreams. As we move on to our next habit, ask yourself, what one task have you been putting off? How can you take a small step towards it right now? 2. Negative self-talk. The inner habit. 2. Negative self-talk, sabur. Have you ever caught yourself in a spiral of self-doubt? That little voice in your head saying, "You're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough." Welcome to the world of negative self-talk. A habit that can be as destructive as any external obstacle. The Stoics had a powerful antidote to this inner saber-objective judgment. Epictetus, another great Stoic teacher, advised, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle is at the heart of overcoming negative self-talk. When you catch yourself in a negative thought pattern, pause, step back, and examine your thoughts as if you were a neutral observer. Are these thoughts based on facts, or are they assumptions? Are they helpful, or are they holding you back? Here's a practical tip. Create a thought journal. Whenever you notice negative self-talk, write it down. Then next to it write a more objective, balanced perspective. Over time you'll train your mind to automatically question and reframe negative thoughts. Remember, your thoughts shape your reality by practicing objective judgment. You're not just silencing your inner critic, you're nurturing an inner ally, one that supports and empowers you as we transition to our next habit. Consider this. How might your life change if you could transform your inner dialogue from a critic to a coach? 3. Overindulgence in social habit. 3. Overindulgence in social media. The modern-day distraction. Imagine if ancient Rome had Instagram picture Cena scrolling endlessly through his feed. Marcus Aurelius obsessing over his follow account sounds absurd, right? Yet here we are in the 21st century, often more connected to our screens than to the world around us. Social media isn't inherently bad. It's a tool like any other. But when it becomes an escape, a source of constant comparison, or a time sink that keeps us from our real priorities, it turns into a harmful habit. The Stoic principle that can help us here is mindfulness. Epicurus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself in the context of social media." This means being conscious of how, when, and why we use these platform forms. Try this Stoic-inspired exercise. Next time you reach for your phone, pause, ask yourself, what am I seeking right now? Connection, distraction, validation. Is there a more meaningful way to fulfill this need? Set boundaries for your social media use. Maybe it's no phones during meals, or no scrolling for the first and last hour of your day. Use this time to connect with real people, engage in self-reflection, or work towards your goals. Remember, every moment spent mindlessly scrolling is a moment not spent becoming your best self. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength as we move to our next habit. Think about this. If you could reclaim all the time you spend on social media, what amazing things could you accomplish? 4. Neglecting physical habit. 4. Neglecting physical health. Health, the body-mind connection. Let's time travel back to ancient Greece. You're in a gymnasium surrounded by philosophers engaged in spirit debate, but they're not just exercising their minds, they're also training their bodies. The ancient Stoics understood something that we often forget. Our physical and mental health are deeply intertwined. Neglecting our physical health is a habit that can have far-reaching consequences. It's not just about looks or longevity, it's about having the energy, clarity and resilience to pursue our goals and live our best lives. The Stoic perspective on physical health is beautifully captured in this quote from Epicurus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, don't let fear of judgment stop you from taking care of your body. Start small. Perhaps it's a daily walk, a few minutes of stretching, or choosing a nutritious meal over fast food. The key is consistency, as Musonius Rufus, another Stoic philosopher, said, "We should not exercise the body and neglect the soul, nor in the other way round. Remember, every time you choose to prioritize your health, you're not just building a stronger body, you're cultivating discipline, self-respect, and resilience. These are qualities that will serve you in every area of life." As we transition to our next habit, ask yourself, how might your life change if you treated your body as the valuable instrument it is rather than an afterthought? 5. Complaining. Habit. 5. Complaining excessively. The negativity trap. We've all met that person, the one who always has something to complain about. The weather's too hot, the coffee is too cold, the traffic's too slow. Now here's a tough question. Are you? Sometimes that person complaining can be seductive. It gives us a momentary sense of relief, a feeling that we've expressed our frustration. But when it becomes a habit, it traps us in a cycle of negativity that blinds us to the good in our lives. The Stoics had a radical approach to this problem. Amor fati, or love of fate. This doesn't mean passively accepting everything that happens. Instead, it's about finding opportunities for growth and learning in every situation. Even the challenging ones. Epictetus put it this way: don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do. Happen, and all will be well with you. This mindset shifts can be transformative. Next time you catch yourself complaining, try this Stoic exercise for every complaint. Force yourself to find 3 things to be grateful for. Stuck in traffic, be grateful for the car that gets you. Places, the podcast you can listen to, and the extra time to plan your day by practicing gratitude and accepting what we can't change. We free up mental energy to focus on what we can change. We become problem solvers rather than complainers. As we move to our next habit, consider this. How might your perspective and your life change if you replace complaints with gratitude and constructive action? 6. Seeking external validation. Habit 6. Seeking external validation. The approval trap. Imagine you've just accomplished something amazing. You've run a marathon, landed a big climb, or finished a creative project. How do you feel? Now imagine no one else knows about it. Does that change how you feel? If it does, you might be caught in the trap of seeking external validation. This habit can be particularly insidious in our social media-driven world, where likes, shares, and comments can feel like a measure of our worth. The Stoics had a powerful antidote to this, finding satisfaction within. Marcus Aurelius advised you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This isn't about becoming indifferent to others' opinions, but about not being controlled by them. Try this Stoic practice at the end of each day. Ask yourself, did I act with integrity? Did I do my best? If the answer is yes, allow yourself to feel satisfied, regardless of external recognition. Remember, true self-esteem comes from living up to your own standards, not others' expectations. As Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. As we transition to our final habit, reflect on this. What would you do differently if you were completely free from the need for others' approval? 7. Avoiding discomfort. The habit. 7. Avoiding discomfort. Growth killer. Think of the last time you faced a challenge. Maybe it was a difficult conversation, a new skill you needed to learn, or a fear you had to confront. How did you respond? Did you lean into the discomfort, or did you find a way to avoid it? Avoiding discomfort is a natural human tendency. We're wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. But when this becomes a habit, it can seriously limit our growth and potential. The Stoics had a radical approach to discomfort. They didn't just accept it, they embraced it. Seneca advised difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. In other words, discomfort is not just an inevitable part of life, it's essential for our growth. Try this Stoic-inspired practice each day. Do something that makes you slightly uncomfortable. It could be striking up a conversation with a stranger, trying a new type of exercise, or tackling that task you've been putting off over time. You'll build your discomfort muscle, making it easier to face bigger challenges. Remember, every time you choose to face discomfort head on, you're not just overcoming a specific challenge, you're becoming a more resilient, capable person overall. As we wrap up our exploration of these 7 habits, ask yourself, what amazing things could you achieve if you saw discomfort not as something to be avoided, but as an opportunity for growth? Your Stoic journey. Conclusion. In life, it's not our circumstances but our habits that shape who we become. By identifying and breaking free from these 7 destructive habits, you can unlock your full potential and live a life of purpose, discipline, and inner peace. Remember, as the Stoics teach, we have the power to control our actions and attitudes. Use this power wisely. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as your life transforms. Which of these habits will you tackle first? Let me know in the comments, and together,